Okay. That's all of them. Hi, my name is Natalie. I write books, I read books, and I make content here on the internet about those two things. And these are all of the books I own that I have not read yet. And you can't even see them all in frame. I think you can see from there, yeah, there's about 10 more books that way, and then all the way down there. The purpose of this video is to make this smaller. Anyway, this is a June TBR jar. Picks what I'm reading this month. You're probably thinking, Natalie, this video is coming out and June's halfway over. That's because I'm filming this when June is halfway over. Mini life update time. I got a puppy, and that has been a lot. And the only reason that I can film this right now is because he is at his first vet visit with my husband right now. So it's finally quiet enough for me to actually film something. Before we get to picking what I am reading for the rest of this month, I do want to talk about what I read last month based off of last month's TBR jar picks. If you're not interested, skip ahead. But if you are interested, stick around. So these are the 6 books that I picked off of that TBR prompts that I got last month. The first one I read this month was Out on a Limb, which is a romance book, disability rep by both the female main character and the love interest male main character. Guys, I literally cannot say enough good things about this book. I read a lot. If you haven't, I mean, these are the books I haven't read, but I read a lot. And I read a lot of romance, and this is my favorite romance book that I have ever read. Hands down, my new favorite romance author. This book, it made me cry multiple times. Giddy, feet kick giddy. If you like romance, you need to read this book. It was so good. I should probably tell you what it's about. This is, don't let me scare you, just listen past the first sentence. This is an accidental pregnancy trope, which you would think would be terrible. This is incredible. The way that she handles this, incredible. The disability rep, amazing. The girl main character has the same disability as the author, and you can tell it is written with so much care and love and personal experience, and it is stunning. That's this book. That's the first one I read. The month started off great. But then the month took a turn. I started Battling the Blue Stocking. This is an indie published historical romance book. I started it. I think I got to maybe chapter 2, like not very far, to be honest with you. And I was not vibing with the main character whose head we are in. I said before in the other video, I love this author. I've read other books in this series. This is like a standalone in a collection. But this guy was not for me. And I will still pick up books by this author, but the main character was like too analytical and cynical, and I just was not vibing with him, and I said life's too short. So this was a DNF, and this will be going to a little library near you. Probably not. You probably don't live where I live. This will be going to a little library near me very soon. So then I picked up my signed, please hold your applause. O'Reilly's. There it is. My signed novella by Veronica Roth. This, was it the best book ever written? No. Did I enjoy it? Yes. It made me think a lot. The back does not say this, so if you don't want spoilers, skip ahead. But this is like a 107-page book or something like that. It's pretty early on established that this deals very heavily with reproduction rights, framed in the Antigone story from Greek mythology? Greek history? I don't think she was a real person, and now I'm concerned because I don't actually know. Anyway, this book was heavy. Despite being the shortest possible book you could read, but beautifully done. I had no doubts. Veronica Roth, great author. Very interesting world that she built. This is a sci-fi retelling of Antigone. Honestly, I feel like this should be read in schools. Is that a weird thing to say? Maybe. But it is a great masterclass on science fiction writing, about science fiction world building. and also about reproductive rights and gender disparity in power and things like that. Yeah, heavy book. You can tell by the way that I'm talking about it that like I don't know how to talk about it. This was a fabulous book. I do recommend it. I will be keeping this. And then I got to the book that I was most excited for, my most anticipated of this month. This is a YA fantasy. This is an advanced reader copy that I was gifted to give a review for. I read the entire thing. However, I didn't like it, which I hate saying because I really wanted to like it. This book is about a family of pirates who are abducted, I guess, into servitude, where their whole family is just like, yeah, whatever, we'll just be servants now, except for the daughter and main character who is like, no, I don't want to be a servant, I want to be a pirate. There's magic that didn't ever really make sense to me. There is political intrigue that didn't really ever make sense to me, and way too many characters. The love interest was creepy is the wrong word. Unlikable, perhaps. He kept way too many secrets. He was a bit of a stalker. Just things that I didn't love about him. And that made it difficult for me to like this book. I did finish it because I was curious about how it ended. Knowing that this is a duology, there's another book coming out. I will not be reading the second one. Those are my words. This will be going to a little free library. If you're keeping track, I read 4 so far. And then there were these 2 left. Ophelia, the super shiny book, and Tempest of Tea. I didn't read Tempest of Tea, and am I sad? Yeah, but she goes back on this shelf to be added to another TBR, and that's okay. Ophelia, I clearly started it. I'm on page 9. I'm not vibing with it, but I think it's my mood and not the book. So I'm putting this back on the shelf as well. It's not a DNF. It is a it's not for me right now type of book. I should put these in the actual thing. I guess I'll put them on the end. Does that work? Sure. You can't see them anyway. All right, now time for the prompt jar to pick my TBR reads to get this amount of books whittled down, if you will. I have read 2, I am donating 2 more return to the shelf. And if you skipped that part and you're just now joining us again, what's up? Hey, nice to see you. Okay, let's just do it. I think I'm gonna pick, it is the 13th of June, so I think I'm just gonna pick 4 books to read in 2 weeks. Is that crazy? Probably. I would also like to say, briefly, I read way more than 4 books in the last month. They just weren't from this list. They were things that I had to read for like reviewing purposes, or I borrowed a book from someone and I need to give it back to them, so I read that too. Anywho, 4 books. Let's go. Number 1, book from a little free library. Okay. I smacked the camera with my arm, so if the angle changed, I apologize. This one, this one. Oh my gosh, the delivery driver's here. I'm definitely not acting casual. Anywho, here are all of the books from this pile that I got at Little Free Libraries. First is Butcher and Blackbird. This was a book of the month pick, which was kind of a fun find. This is a serial killer romance book, which if you know me in my personal life is right up my alley. I don't know anything else about it. Okay, this says a viral friends to lovers dark romantic comedy full of murder, chaos, and sizzling chemistry. It's an option. I think this is the first in a series, and I just, oh yeah, I'm dumb. It says the Ruinous Love Trilogy right on top, so yes, it's part of a trilogy. Potentially. I am a little bit burnt out from romance because I read like 3 romance books last month, but it's a potential. Then we have a book everyone told me I would love, Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Faeries. Of Faeries? Yes. Again, I found this at a little library. It's the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. Love that for me. I also know nothing about this. A professor of fairies does something. I think it's kind of giving cozy fantasy, but then something dramatic happens and it's not cozy anymore. I could be very wrong. I have no idea. I should probably check. Curmudgeonly professor journeys to a small town in the far north to study fairy folklore and discovers dark fae magic, friendship, and love in the start of a heartwarming and enchanting new fantasy series. Another series? Then we have The Wind Weaver, which I have been very excited to read. This was one that I actually found on a road trip when I passed by a free library, I never know how to say it, in Salt Lake City, Utah. And it's an ARC copy, so like it doesn't have the full everything on it. Also, it's a chunky book. I think it was Kayla Kempers was reading this recently, and I was like, that's on my list of books I want to read. And then like a couple days later, I found it in the library, which was just very exciting. This is a fantasy book. I've heard it's incredible. It's a romantasy with a young female lead, which I am partial to since I am writing my own. The only reason that I'm hesitant to choose this one is because it is so thick. It is a big book. And these last two are books that I said in my last TBR video, but real quickly, this is The Kiss of the Nightingale, which is a French-inspired romantasy dual POV, maybe? I don't know. It says it's Shadow and Bone meets Bridgerton. Maybe, I don't know. And then Fredrik Backman, Anxious People, which my sister-in-law Christina really wants me to read. And because nothing else is truly calling me for Christina, I think I'm gonna choose Anxious People as my pick for this one. I should probably tell you what it's about before I just throw it on the ground, which is what I did, but probably cut out. This is a bank robbery, literary fiction, but funny? I don't know. That's what we're reading. Okay, let's pick the next one. Published in 2024. Do I have to go through all of these? I could lie and put this back in there. I won't, but I could. 2022, 2023, jeez. Okay, I'm not gonna film this. You will see me when I have a pile. Okay, lots of time has passed because that took a while, but these were everything published in 2024. We do have some repeats. So Tempest of Tea, which I said before, is a fantasy novel involving tea. It's literally all I know. This is a possible, because I missed it last month, it does make me inclined to choose for these last 2 weeks, but we will see. Then I have Kiss of the Nightingale again. I'm telling you right now, I'm not feeling it. A Fate Inked in Blood, another extremely shiny book. This is book one of a romantasy series that I know nothing about. Norse-inspired romance. Young adult, I think, or new adult, possibly. Then I have So Let Them Burn, with her sprayed edges and the gorgeous cover. I cannot ever get over how much I love this cover. Are you kidding? This is about a girl whose sister is taken by dragons, and so she goes to get her back. That's literally all I know, and it's so stunning, and I need to read this, but you know who else has a copy of this book? Taylor Ann Wright, so we need to buddy read this. So if I'm gonna pick this, I'm gonna have to get her permission. And I know for a fact that she's trying to finish a book this month, so unfortunately this is probably a no, but soon. Then we have a nonfiction book, just to, you know, switch things up. This is Erik Larson. If you don't know him, he writes the most incredible, lyrical, beautiful nonfiction books about history of all time. And this is, I think, his newest one. A friend of mine actually found this in a little library and gave it to me because she knows I love Erik Larson. This is about the start of the Civil War, and that's literally all I know about it. She is, in fact, a chunky book. And I do want to read this, but because we only have 2 weeks left in the month, I can't pick chunky books, unfortunately. If you hear an airplane in the background, no you don't. Next is Witty in Pink. First of all, also this cover, I cannot. Are you kidding? This is a YA Regency romance that is like giving 80s rom-com vibes. Not just because of the title. Keep your friends close, your enemies closer type of vibes. I imagine this is gonna be a super fast read. Oh, it's dual POV. See, the things you learn when you flip through a book. This is a contender. I do think that this one's gonna be super fun. Then last one in this category, that airplane is so loud. Please, sir, be on your way. Anyway, the last one in this category is The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. Everybody says this is their least favorite Leigh Bardugo book. I adore her. So excited to read this book. It's like a historical fantasy, potentially about vampires. I don't know, but like creepy cover, am I right? Honestly, I know nothing about this except for Leigh Bardugo wrote it, and I know I'll like it because she wrote it. So these are the books that were picked for the published in 2024 prompt, and they're all good. They're all good picks. I'm feeling drawn to the familiar though. I am. I really, really think I'm gonna like it. So I think this is the one for me. I just knocked over my jar and all of them fell out, so. She's clumsy, she's just like other girls. 2 more. A book you've owned for over a year. Oh, girl. That's most of them. I think. I might be wrong. Let's find out. Actually, I'm scanning these right now, and at least from here over, which you can't see on the screen, but that's like 12 books, I have had for less than a year. I know this one for a fact I've had more than a year. This one I've had more than a year. This one... Oh no, don't fall. Don't fall. Wait, is that it? Interesting. That's not as many as I expected. There's only 3. The first up is Not Funny by Jenna Friedman. This is a comedian's stand-up routine, but like in a book. A little like anthology of things she thought was funny. I was sent this because I won a giveaway on Goodreads in 2023. I still haven't read it. I feel like you have to be in the mood to read a comedy book though, you know? It's potential. It's pretty short. It's a comedy book, maybe? Then we have Dangerous Alliance. This is another Regency romance. Can you see a theme? I do love a Regency romance. It's literally called An Ostentatious Romance. Is that not so fun? I know nothing about it other than it's a Regency romance, and apparently it's really good. It is thick. I think, yes, I did in fact start this probably more than a year ago. It clearly didn't engage me enough for me to get past that, but I kept it around because I thought maybe I was just in the wrong mood. This is an option. I don't have a romance picked yet, unless the familiar is a romance and I just don't know. Last one in this category is Immortal Longings by Chloe Gong. I have had this book since it came out. Which was a while ago. It's an epic fantasy that's giving like Shakespeare tragedy vibes. I follow Chloe Gong on social media. She is a delight, and I have never read this book. Should I? Yeah, probably. I think I'd like it. God only knows why I haven't picked it up yet. So between the 3 of these, I'm thinking I already have a fantasy. So I think I'll put back Immortal Longings. So either a comedy or a historical romance. I think I'm gonna go with historical romance. And if this book doesn't catch me right away again, then I will know it is time for me to pass it on to somebody else who might love it more. Potential DNF, so yeah, it's thick, but it might end up not being that much to read, if you know what I mean. I have to turn my air off so that it's not too loud, and I am sweating. Last one, let's see. No, I'm not doing that one. It was gonna have me check the publishing year again, and I don't have that in me. Longest title. Okay, so this means I don't get to pick. It just means that whatever is the longest is what I'm reading. So, let's see. Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Faeries. 6 words. Emily Wilde Encyclopedia of Faeries. 5 words. That's a long title. A Fate Inked in Blood. Ooh, that's 5 too. Technically, the longer title would be Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Faeries. So there you go, picked for me. So these are the books that I am reading in the last 2 weeks of June. Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Faeries, Dangerous Alliance, The Familiar, and Anxious People. I feel like that's a pretty wide range of options. I don't have any issues. I think this is gonna be good. I'm excited for the rest of this month. I'm gonna have to go because my husband is texting me updates from the vet, but I will see you real soon with a writing vlog and with a couple of craft videos. And I will see you in 2 weeks for another TBR Picks My July Reads. Can you believe it's almost July? That's insane. Anywho, if you enjoy this kind of stuff and my weird personality, you can always subscribe. And if you feel like it, turn on the post notifications bell, and I will see you all real soon. Okay, love you, bye.